Welcome back, folks. Today, we dive headfirst into the latest episode of America's longest-running dark comedy, Donald Trump's political career. And who better to guide us through the absurdity than the maestro of mockery himself, Stephen Colbert? If political satire were a sport, Colbert would be holding every Olympic gold while juggling flaming hot takes with one hand and a constitution in the other. Before we jump deeper, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Trust us, this circus isn't leaving town anytime soon, and you won't want to miss the next act. It all starts with what may be the strangest chapter yet: Trump accepting a luxury Boeing 747 from Qatar. That's right, Trump got a free plane, not a model plane. A full-on gold-plated $400 million flying palace. Because nothing says man of the people like riding around in a jet bigger than your ego, and that's saying something. Colbert kicks it off with his signature grin and laser-sharp sarcasm. After all these years, he says, it's almost endearing that Trump can still surprise us. How does he do it? He keeps the nausea fresh. Trump's like a human Pepto-Bismol commercial, except instead of soothing your stomach, he makes you want to hurl every time he opens his mouth. Colbert then reminds us of the age-old adage, with gifts, it's the thought that counts. And the thought here? Let's bribe the president. Qatar says the plane is being donated to the US government, but somehow it's conveniently being parked in Trump's personal hangar. It's like giving a Ferrari to the fire department and then watching the chief use it for a Tinder date. And when Trump inevitably sets up his presidential library, Colbert imagines its contents: a safety card about fastening your seatbelt, a Sky Mall catalog, and a pop-up book titled Air Sickness Bag. That's it. That's the legacy. No constitution, no policy papers, just tray table instructions and a collection of novelty neck pillows. Trump claims it's all perfectly legal because it's done in public? Sure, and if you stab someone in broad daylight while shouting stabby stab stab, that doesn't make it okay. Transparency doesn't make corruption better, it just makes it more visible. Trump's logic is like putting a ski mask on your dog and saying it robbed the bank, not you. And then there's the kicker. Qatar, the same country that Trump himself once accused of funding terrorism, is now apparently his favorite travel buddy. As Colbert points out, Trump's moral compass isn't just broken, it's spinning like a fidget spinner in a tornado. But Trump wasn't done. Oh no. Before hopping on his new Qatari One, he signed an executive order aimed at lowering drug prices. Credit where it's due, Colbert says. A lot of Americans have been wanting cheaper drugs, especially after watching Trump speak. Of course, this isn't Trump's first rodeo with pharma reform. He tried it during his first term, but the courts shut it down. Because when you mess with big pharma, they don't send lawyers. They send the Lunesta butterfly to suck out your soul in your sleep. Colbert imagines it flitting around with a syringe, whispering, "Nighty-night, Mr. President." In true Trump fashion, he tries to make it personal. He tells a story about a very brilliant, highly neurotic friend, most likely himself, who takes what he calls the fat shot drug. That's right, the fat shot drug. Because nothing connects with the common man like rich dudes poking themselves in the butt with $900 injections. Colbert absolutely feasts on this moment. He conjures the image of Trump jabbing a syringe into his own behind while muttering, "This is for freedom. If a Greek tragedy had a laugh track, this would be it." And the best part? Trump's buddy told him the fat drug wasn't working. Colbert suggests maybe it's not the drug that's broken. Maybe it's just a really determined double chin. And of course, Trump claims credit for inventing the word equalizing. Yes, a man who once said wind turbines cause cancer now thinks he created a word that's been in the dictionary longer than his real hair has been on his head. Colbert can't let that slide. He reminds us Queen Latifah's been equalizing since season 1. Thank you very much. Then came the trade negotiations with China. Trump managed to reduce tariffs that he himself had imposed. That's like throwing a brick through your own window and demanding a medal for sweeping up the glass. Colbert compares it to negotiating your way out of a bear trap you set for yourself. Heroic. But let's not forget the tariffs promises. Trump said they'd eliminate income tax, end illegal immigration, lower food prices, and even subsidize childcare. Instead, all we got was a $5 tomato and the deep, unshakable fear that our economy is being run by a guy who thinks TikTok is a type of bread. Colbert paints the image of an army of Americans preparing to assemble iPhones, only to be let down once again. He even jokes about disassembling his own iPhone in preparation for the promised factory job, holding up the gutted shell of a phone like Hamlet holding Yorick's skull. Alas, poor selfie cam, I knew you well. And just when you think it can't get more ridiculous, Trump goes and appoints Judge Jeanine Pirro, yes, that Jeanine, to a major legal role. The woman famous for shouting on Fox News, drinking champagne like it's tap water, and once allegedly speeding at 119 miles per hour is now Washington, D.C.'s top attorney. Colbert dubs her Lady Giuliani, which is honestly an insult to ghosts and haunted wine cellars everywhere. Trump calls her one of the best district attorneys in New York history. Colbert points out that the only class she's in is court-mandated traffic. It's like naming your dog Surgeon General because he once chewed a stethoscope. As the camera pans back to Colbert, he wraps up the segment with a look of faux awe, like a parent watching their kid paint the dog blue and proudly say it's art. Trump isn't just a political figure anymore. He's a genre of performance art, a blend of reality TV, telenovela, and end-stage democracy. And through it all, Colbert stands there, delivering punch after punch, not out of hate, but out of patriotic duty to call out absurdity when it tries to pilot a 747 into constitutional norms. Trump's political antics are like a never-ending game of whack-a-mole, but each mole is holding a gala and a subpoena. In Colbert's America, truth matters, and if truth occasionally needs to be delivered in a tuxedo with a monologue and a heavy dose of sarcasm, so be it, because sometimes the only way to deal with the chaos is to laugh right in its orange-tinted face. So as Trump jets around in his Middle Eastern megajet, tries to market weight loss drugs through fat-shaming anecdotes, and fills top legal posts with TV ranters, Colbert will be right there, microphone in hand, eyebrow arched, ready to turn the madness into mockery. Not just for laughs, but for the soul of satire. Because in the theater of American politics, Trump's the clown, but Colbert's the ringmaster. Stay tuned. It's bound to get even weirder. And Stephen Colbert will be there, ready with the jokes, the jabs, and the truth-telling punchlines that remind us we're not crazy, just living in the world. Trump built one absurdity at a time. Thanks for watching. If you laughed, cringed, or questioned reality even once, hit that like button, drop a comment, and subscribe for more razor-sharp satire. Until next time, stay sane, stay skeptical, and remember, in the wild world of Trump, sometimes laughter is the only lifeline we've got.